Hi guys, Cy Fisher here. Today we're going to be doing a little tech training tutorial within TransactionDesk. We're going to be talking about templates, why you would want to use them, how to create a transaction using one, and how to modify and or create your own templates. So let's get right into it. Here you'll see our agent dashboard, the first screen you see when you log into TransactionDesk. And the first thing I want to do is show you where you can go and access all your templates. So here on the left-hand side, you'll see a little icon that you can use to get into settings. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go over here to transaction templates, and I'm going to open that. Once here, you're going to see all of the templates that have been shared with you from the brokerage, and you'll also see all of the templates that you personally have created. So today, I actually want to modify a template that's been shared with me from the brokerage, and the one I'm going to modify is residential listing. So I want to tailor it so it's perfect to what I want when I use that template. So the best way to do that is to go over here where the three dots are, go ahead and copy that template, and I'm going to rename it 01 residential listing. The reason why I'm using that is because I want it to be the first template that pops up when I'm looking for my template. So I'll go ahead and create that. Perfect. Now I want to actually go inside this template and take a look at what it has in it. So in documents and folders, I see that I've already put some stuff in here. It's got client resources that you can use to send your client kind of how-to information when you're doing Authentisign or filling Form 17, or how they can use showing time to help with setting up showings for their property. I want to leave all that stuff. Pamphlets, have all the pamphlets, including pamphlets received checklist. Definitely want that in there where they're easily accessible. Waterfront property. So I got this form in here, and actually I don't want that to auto-populate in my template. So I'm just going to delete that. If I need that, I'll go and find it. Every property I'm listing is not going to be waterfront, so I don't want that in every single template, every single transaction I use with this template. So form manuals. Maybe you do want those in here. Maybe it's not necessary. It's just more junk. So I'm just going to delete that because I know where to access them, and I'm pretty confident with my contracts at this point, thanks to Jennifer and contract training. So I don't need those manuals. I'm just going to delete them and clean up my template. So now I just have the things that I want in my documents. So let's go check out forms. This is residential listing, so I'm going to need Form 1A, Form 1 input, Form 17 seller disclosure, and my 2 island county disclosures. Those are all marked as mandatory. So I'm going to want them for every transaction, but Form 1S, do I need that in every transaction? Personally, I don't need it. I know where to find it. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that from my template. Notice to buyers concerning waterfront properties, critical areas, and bluffs. Could be very handy for specific transactions. I don't think I want it in every single transaction I use with this template, so I'm going to delete it. Same here with this one, this Windermere Form 52. Don't really need it in every transaction. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one as well. All right, perfect. Now I have my transaction exactly how I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and press update. Perfect. Now I'm going to use this for every transaction that I'm creating that's a residential listing. It's updated. So now I want to go back to my dashboard here on the left-hand side. And I'm going to show you a neat little trick. So first, you can click here if you would like to create a new transaction. It's going to bring up this menu where you name it, you put in your information. This is where, if you're just creating the transaction, you can select your template right here. In the drop-down menu, you're going to see all the templates available. And because I put a 01 for the one I just recently created, it's going to populate right here on the top of the list. So I can just select that easily, and then I can create my transaction. Well, that's great if you're creating a new transaction. Well, what if you want to apply a template to a transaction that already exists? I'm going to go ahead and do that today so I can just show you how that's done. So here's test transaction 02. I'm going to open that up and, okay, say for example, I created this in the past, but now I want to apply a template. Or maybe I created this transaction by clicking the button in numals in matrix that creates a transaction, and pulls all that information over. If I use that method, maybe I still want to apply a template. So up here with the 3 dots, if you open up that menu, you have an option to apply a template. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And now I'm going to select the new template that I made, residential listing. So I'll go ahead and apply that. So what this will do is it's going to keep all the stuff that's already in the transaction, supplemental stuff. All it's going to do is add what didn't already exist in the transaction that's part of the template. So now we can see our documents and our forms. We're in the transaction dashboard. Well, I prefer to view my transaction in specific areas, specific to the thing I'm working with. So over here, I want to go check out the documents in my transaction. So actually, you'll see here that it actually duplicated. So it will make duplicates if you're applying the transaction, applying the template to the transaction. Apparently, it's the first time testing it with a transaction that I had already created using a template. So that's some little good information to know. You don't need to reapply the template if you've already created the transaction using it. Otherwise, you're going to have duplicates. So in this instance, I'm going to go ahead and delete the duplicates real fast. And we'll just move on. So the best time to use this is if you are actually representing a buyer and you created the transaction by clicking the button in matrix like I mentioned before, because that'll pull over all the supplementals that the listing broker had put into the transaction, but it's not going to have anything else. So once that's created, you can just apply the template and you're going to have all your forms and your pamphlets and everything you need available. Obviously, you'd be using the residential, residential sale template rather than the residential listing one in that instance. So one of the things I really like about having the pamphlets in my transaction already is that I can just send them directly to my client from within TransactionDesk. I don't have to remember where they're located on my computer. Don't have to open up my email client and create a new email. I can just do it right here. So while I'm in Documents, if I open up the Pamphlets folder, I can press the Select All button right up here, and it's going to select all the pamphlets in that folder. Now, I don't want to send pamphlets received, actually, because that's actually what I'll use when I send it in a signing, so they can confirm that I sent them all the pamphlets. So I'm going to uncheck that. Now I have all my pamphlets highlighted. I can go ahead and go into my basket. And from using this little icon, the letter icon, you can send all these pamphlets via email. I like to put in the recipient, and then I also like to CC myself. And the reason for that is then I'll have a documentation that the pamphlets were sent. So you put in your client's email, put in your own email. With these, you can send as a link, but I like to send as an attachment in case they want to download them and print them out and read them that way. So send the pamphlets as an attachment, go ahead and press send, and off they go. There's your pamphlets to your client, all within TransactionDesk because you started with a template. All right, let's go look at forms. We kind of covered this already, and I'm not going to take the time to clean this up. Usually, if you're creating a fresh transaction, you're not going to have forms already in here. So when you apply a template, you're not going to be getting duplicates. But you can see all the forms are here that I need right out the gate. So that's really handy. If I need any additional ones, I can still add them by going up here and searching for the specific form that I want and adding it just like you would normally. So 1A. The video is in the way. So I can't click on the button. There we go. And then I just go up here and press add. So I'm not going to do that right now, but that's essentially how you would do it. And all your forms are good to go and ready within here. So that's essentially some of the reasons why you'd want to use a template for your transactions. That's also how you can create a transaction using a template and or apply a template to an already existing transaction. And once again, at the start, we talked about modifying or creating your own templates and where you can go and do that. And I highly recommend it. It's a huge time saver in the long run. I use a template. I'm going to use a template for every transaction that I do because it just is very easy to do everything you need to do within that template. So that's going to be it for today's tutorial. Next tutorial will probably cover Form 17, how you can send it within TransactionDesk and have your client fill it digitally, and then how you would then send that off for signing once they do fill it out. So a lot of people have trouble with that. That's going to be the next tutorial I cover. If you guys have any questions, obviously you can call me directly or you can email me, and I'm happy to help you guys with anything that I'm able to. So with that being said, that's it for the tutorial. Bye.